Ray, you know, I've been in good spirits lately.
I know, right? We're doing pretty good.
Good is kind of an understatement. We're doing better than good. Right now, we're poised to take over Port Turtledove, which is a major trading hub. Oligopomart seems to be losing military power, political power, financial power.
Well, they've got endless financial power, don't they?
On paper, yeah, but in practice, all that infinite money is just going towards graft and corruption. Rowan's paying off her uncle, or her cousin, or her gardener, or whoever. And when it comes time to cut funding somewhere to make up for some shortfalls, who are they gonna cut? I mean, obviously Rowan's gardener needs that paycheck. Where are they gonna find a new gardener on short notice? So they cut stuff from the schools, and then when you can't cut from the schools anymore, you're kinda out of luck.
You know, I remember a bit of high society, and it could be catty. I'll bet you anything that Rowan's in a really stupid place right now. Basically, the way it works is like this. You gotta wear the best clothes and have the best house, and you've gotta have a properly manicured garden, or otherwise when diplomats show up, they think you're some kind of idiot and they won't provide you with any sort of support. That means that Rowan is probably diverting essential spending that should be spent on the military towards herself so she can request more money to spend on the military.
Really? Well, I hope that's true, because if it is, that means we're not likely to see any kind of strong rebound in the future.
Speaking of rebounding, how are things going with Peyton and Sydney on their patrols? All I see are these hover tanks.
Same on their end. We've got air control, so we're just deploying as we please and picking off everything that we find. These hover battalions are maybe them just trying to get some force projection out there, but it's not doing a lot of good.
I guess they could give trouble to air patrols, but not for me. Anyway, about Sydney and Peyton, how are things going, you know, in terms of fraternization?
They seem to be getting along alright. I don't think they're doing anything that's gonna hurt our efforts.
I know that, I meant kinda more like, you know, gossip.
Ray, come on.
We never get a chance to talk about it, and Tito doesn't ever want to gossip, but I think they are totally a thing.
Okay, be honest, you don't think that it's gonna be a problem, if it's true.
No, it's not gonna be a problem, it's just that, you know, Peyton and Sydney, they're my friends, and I can't talk to one of them about it, but I just thought I would say, you know, whenever you're looking for one of them, you ever notice how sometimes they're both missing?
From a completely professional standpoint, I don't feel like it's a problem either. Neither of them is a higher rank, so they can't be providing favors, and it's a small outfit, so it's probably fine, I agree.
I didn't say I brought it up because I thought it was a problem, I brought it up because I think they're kissing on each other.
Well, what do you want me to do about it, Ray?
Agree with me, and then share stories and theories on how you know they're doing it.
Well, to play the devil's advocate, Peyton says they're not doing anything.
Peyton is a liar!
Alright, granted, that is true.
So you agree they're obviously together?
I don't know if we should speculate. Why should that color our perception of them?
Because I'm rooting for it, personally.
Okay.
I think it would be cute. I mean, imagine it, they're both really neurotic, but kinda in their own ways. Maybe together they'll learn to overcome their individual insanity.
Or they'll merge together to form a singular monolithic insanity that none of us can cope with, and all will despair.
Both are good. You know, teamwork is healthy, love finds a way and all that.
What I'm really worried about is that if they are romantically involved, sooner or later they're gonna have a fight. And I'm concerned it's gonna hurt their performance on the field.
Well, I'd say that's why we ought to get a squad psychologist or something, but I guess if they're both gonna deny that they're in a relationship, that wouldn't do a whole lot of good.
I think they could both use psychologists regardless.
Out of curiosity, did either of them pass a psych evaluation?
No, but neither did Tito, and that worked out okay. We haven't had and still don't really have the resources to be choosy.
You know, we really ought to set up some kind of pension plan for when the war is over. So that way Peyton and Sydney can retire, and optionally they can go see a psychologist if they need one.
No, they'd go and see a psychiatrist. A psychologist is someone who studies psychology.
Oh, well, I thought you said earlier that they needed a psychologist. Anyway, the point is, I'm not trying to insinuate that they're bad teammates. I'm just kind of rooting for their relationship, and if they're stressed out by the stuff in their lives, then I'd like them to have the option, you know?
Has Peyton ever done anything to place you under the impression that she's not happy? I think whatever world she lives in, it's a happy world. Sydney, on the other hand, I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, do you know how to bake?
What kind of question is that?
Well, I've just been thinking, probably for a little while now, that we ought to bake a cake for Sydney or something. She really does go through a lot for us, and she never really asked for it.
I guess we could probably find a cake mix when we move into Port Turtledove.
Hey Jordan, I'm getting a reading on a bot. The computer says it's a Thor.
Oh, that's a stealthy one. He's probably trying to get an angle on you. Usually they come with a particle cannon, long-range missile salvos, and a short-range autocannon, so they're good all-rounders.
That's the same one that Peyton's in, isn't it? It's a bit on the heavy side.
You still outclass the thing, so as long as it doesn't have a spotter or a direct radar contact with you, you should be okay.
I'll keep my eyes open. But it's kinda weird though, you'd expect that if it was gonna engage me, it would want to do it before it's too late. I've already wiped out 3 of the 4 quadrants.
It could be someone without a lot of experience trying to loop around and get behind you.
They popped up on radar directly in front of me though.
Well, they're probably trying to loop around behind you again. Just keep an eye on your butt and your flanks and you should be good. Those hover tanks aren't going to be a real threat to you, so that's the only thing you have to worry about.
I guess it is kinda tough to pull off an ambush with a single bot and a bunch of friends made out of tissue paper.
Oh, I can just imagine that bot is the commanding officer trying to convince all his friends that this time for sure the ambush is going to work. Just wait here, act as bait, he's going to loop around and he's going to get you.
Makes me feel a bit sorry for everybody, really.
Makes me think that we ought to leave just enough targets alive to lynch their boss when this is over.
So is that a call to pack it up and go home?
Negative. Proceed as planned. We don't want to leave any of these guys hanging around to shoot down one of our transport choppers on the way by.
Roger. Still no sign of that door anywhere.
Maybe he got lost. Now he's just sitting in his bot with the map stretched out over his lap. You know, I always thought that bots should operate with a crew.
It should be as simple as just laying down some nav points, shouldn't it? He just follows them around and loops behind me.
They've got nothing to lay nav points down with. His bot is the head, there's no sensory fusion here. If he's got his radar off and his equipment off so he doesn't get pinged by your radar, then everyone else is similarly blind. Those hover tanks don't have radar suites.
So what's the point of a stealth bot being in charge of this battalion?
Well, knowing Oligopomart, I would imagine that somebody bought them and they were very expensive and there was no point in wasting good money, so they sent it out there. Alternatively, maybe he's supposed to be protecting them with an ECM. But he's not doing that, so it's anyone's guess.
Well, he's got a grand total of 3 targets left to protect and is still nowhere in sight.
If he gets within 300 to 400 meters of you, your electronics might pick him up, but no guarantee.
2 more to go. And 1 more. Okay, there he is. I've got a positive ID on an enemy Thor.
I'm showing him too, coming right at you. If he's gonna go toe-to-toe, you should be fine.
I'm not an enemy.
What? Is this the enemy Thor? How did you get this frequency? Identify!
I'm a friendly unit. My IFF is just screwed up.
Unidentified Thor. Hold position or you will be fired upon.
Roger, holding position.
Sounds like a kid. How do people keep getting on our comms line? We don't have any kids on our team. Jordan, she's still moving towards me.
Weapons free, Regal One.
Oh, come on. You don't believe me?
You shot a particle cannon at me.
What incentive would we have to believe you? You don't even sound like you believe it. Is there a way we can convince you people to use a separate comm line from us? We'll use channel 1, you use channel 2, okay?
No, really. My call sign is 101-123-456-12. I'm one of you guys.
You can't be older than 15, and we don't assign numbers like that.
Come on, lady. Power down your robot. I'm on your side, I swear.
Like hell. I'm gonna take a wild guess and assume that you were babysitting these hovercraft, playing back up against hardened targets, and you dropped the ball. You surrendered.
Jordan, I haven't lost control, but my right leg is taking a serious beating.
Actually, that's a good idea. I guess if I cripple your leg and come back later, you won't be able to put up a fight before I bring you down eventually.
Okay, you are just a dick, kid, and not even very good at being stealthy.
I had to turn on my radar to see where you were.
Yeah? Well, you got a long way to run before you get out of my gun range. Target down.
Don't worry about it, Ray. If anything, somebody probably called in for help before you took down their commander. If he survived, they'll pick him up.
How do they keep getting on our comm line?
If I knew that, it wouldn't be happening. We're just lucky they haven't used it to their advantage yet.
They just keep calling to ask us stuff, or to scold us, or in this case to tell us some kind of lie.
Well, lucky for us. Which is especially weird when they know we're the enemy. But anyway, Ray, you've got a dropship en route. Just try to get out of that area as fast as you can, but we'll meet you halfway.